Welcome to the Backlash. I am your host, Rebecca Hargraves, joined as always. I can't say that because that's what Matt used to say on my old podcast. As always. By my wonderful co-host, Mr. Dave Riley.
What's going on? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah?
Yeah. Been a long weekend.
I hear ya.
Went down to Paul Bunyan Days in St. Mary's.
Oh, right. Yeah.
White people as far as the eye could see.
Sounds like paradise.
It was absolutely wonderful. Did the carousel, the Ferris wheel, fireworks. Very good time.
Good time. Good time. You can find us on X at Real Backlash, our website, thebacklash.net. Support us on subscribestar.com/thebacklash, patreon.com/thebacklash. Send your super chats that will be read live. Questions for Mr. Elijah Schaffer at the end of our show, thebacklash.net/superchat, or our YouTube channel at Real Backlash. Sub to us on Rumble. That's at Backlash Podcast. We also have an Instagram and TikTok, but we didn't prep the links here, so yay, we're totally prepared. Thank you to all of our sponsors, your premier gold and silver deal, Atlas dealer, Atlas Bullion, no endocrine disruptor, lotion, etc. This is Idaho Tallow, and Antelope Hill, the people that will print literally anything. And welcome.
That's very good.
To our guest, Mr. Elijah Schaffer, a man that needs no introduction if you don't know who he is. How did you get to the Backlash and you don't know who Elijah Schaffer is?
You're just saying that because we didn't have time to write up.
I did. I wrote journalist, podcast host, conservative commentator, founder of Rift TV, racist, fellow racist.
Oh, geez.
Very, yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, relatively. I mean, I think you have to protect your family and your people, and I don't think there's really any way to do that unless you realize that they're calling us racist because they're trying to put us in a defensive position to make us feel like in order to speak what we need to speak, to say out loud what we need to say out loud, and to do what we need to do, that they already try to start us from a disadvantaged position because obviously they make that a pejorative. So when you say, well, you know, like, yeah, I mean, it's sort of like when people say, like, oh, you own guns. It's like, well, was that a bad thing, right? That's sort of what I think. It's like, is that a bad thing? It's kind of a good thing, right?
Right, yeah.
So, right, racism is not really like a bad thing per se, as long as you understand what you mean by that versus what they mean by that. And we mean something very different. It's semantics, but you know, ours is a positive word, theirs is a negative one.
Yeah, absolutely. And as far as the gun issue goes, I mean, you're banned from Australia, right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate. There's been a lot of unfortunate things that have happened in my life recently. A lot of unfortunate things, but you know, they put so the Australian Jewish Coalition lobbied the government in Australia after there was this rise in anti-Semitism. And of course, like the anti-Semitism that they're claiming was just two groups of people. It was the radical, like I hate to be like cliche, but it was the radical left, which is very real, you know, very real, and the socialists are very powerful in Australia. So it was them, and those people support Palestine because they're against colonialization, they're against the West, right? And they see Israel as being sort of a colony of Western empiricism, or you know, this age of colonization. And it's true, right? It is a colony of the United Kingdom in many ways until they were pushed out, but they still have a lot of say in the government there. However, the people who were anti-Semitic, I guess you could say, or antiseptic, were the Muslims they let in, right? So like a ton of the Muslims. And the people that were clashing with the Muslims were not anybody but the Indians, because the Hindus love Israel. And so there was this clash between Hindus and Muslims going on in Melbourne and Sydney. And so the Australia Jewish Coalition came in and said, well, what can we do to solve the problem? Let's make laws against white nationalism and white people. And they created a bunch of laws, you know, banned the swastika, banned the Roman salute, started arresting National Socialists for simply trying to attend political rallies. They banned democracy for people that hold far-right values. I've seen it happen with my own eyes. People getting arrested for just trying to walk into a park during a rally because their political views were incorrect. And then it's turned into now Chris Minns, the premier of New South Wales, which is sort of like their equivalent of the governor, you know, right after banning me, came out and said something very interesting. I think it was about me. He was like, because him and I had fought before a few times publicly, and he was like, you know, I'm really grateful to the Australian Jewish Coalition for like helping us create these new hate speech laws, because we don't want American style speech in our province. We don't want it inside of our district here, because we don't want any of our people to make the newcomers feel uncomfortable. And so the Australian Jewish Coalition came and lobbied the government to put in hate speech laws in order to outlaw any type of white solidarity movement, and then also to keep Americans who are pro-nationalistic out of the country, targeting us, and then even better. So I thought that was bad. And then I'm sorry for the long rant here, but then I just saw the other day that the Australian Jewish Coalition was back in front of Congress saying that the laws have not gone far enough to ban white nationalism. They need to make it like illegal to be a part of any type of white solidarity group, and that it needs, any white collectivism needs to be illegal in itself. So they're and reminding you, they're so strict on it. I mean, they banned Candace Owens for the same thing, for promoting nationalism and free speech. So it's not just white people. It's universally anyone who's promoting sort of American traditional patriotism, or like, I guess what the founders of Australia, because Australia was started as a white colony. So it's really bad there.
Yeah. How did a white penal colony become maybe the world's biggest pussies? Like, how did this happen?
Unbelievable. It is.
The answer is choose, as always.
True. Yeah. I've actually
losing World War II.
Yeah.
Realistically speaking, liberal democracy. It's destroyed every single Western country that it's been instituted after World War II. It's not really revisionist history, and it's not, it's not pro-Hitlerian or anything like that. It's just true. Like, liberal democracy has led to progressivism, and the classical liberals like Joel Berry and James Lindsay and a lot of the pastors and stuff that hold these Protestant views are essentially gatekeeping, like how boomers protect Israel, right? These liberals are sort of are allowing this progressivism. This it's not even socialist. It's like Bolshevik.
Yeah.
It is a Jewish invention, right, in and of itself. And so, they allow this to take place. And of course, the Holocaust is what they use to guilt white people, just like the word race is a pejorative, like a Holocaust denier. And, it's so serious at FAU. My studio's in Boca Raton. It is one of the most Jewish cities in the country. Unironically means mouth of the rat in Spanish. So it's ironic they chose this city as their headquarters. But FAU, a secular school here, they just removed one of the largest parking lots in the entire school, causing a massive problem with parking for students and causing a huge issue at the start of school year. Why? Because they built a Holocaust memorial over the parking lot. So things are worse than you think, especially here. And also, no joke, the people who rented this studio building before us was literally the offices for the Holocaust Memorial Museum.
I don't know. That's a positive development, because they're trying to keep the narrative alive, because nobody cares anymore about the Holocaust.
They are trying hard.
They're not going to be able to use guilt as currency for much longer.
Did you see this? That apparently the Beverly Hills School Board had voted to mandatorily display Israeli flags all throughout the school. And there was so much pushback that they actually had to cancel it.
Oh, good.
They got inundated with thousands of anti-Semitic emails and people hating on them for doing that. So pushback does work. It does seem like it works.
We should talk a little bit more about Australia. Do you have that clip prepped?
I've got a couple of clips. I mean, so first of all, this was what day was this? Saturday, I guess. That this
30th, yeah.
Yeah, the 30th. So there was this Australia Day march. Bunch of people came out for it, hundreds of thousands actually, and violent leftists tried to disrupt it. And
did you say hundreds of thousands?
Hundreds of thousands.
I read some left-wing news report. At least 7,000 people show up to. I was looking at the picture. I was like, oh, this looks like 100,000 people.
No, I'm pretty sure there's 100,000 in Melbourne, 300,000 in Brisbane. I don't have those stats on me right now, but so what's interesting is, let me see if I did not prep this. But yeah, so you can see at the end of the speeches, they had some of these guys from the NSN come up and give speeches. And what I've been seeing on Twitter is this kind of kayfabe after the fact push, I guess, to try and characterize the Nazis as having ruined the entire thing. Oh, look, this is disgraceful, blah, 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 right? And then you've got, was it this one? Yeah. Yeah, look, watch this. This is so funny. Oh my God.
Justice! All Australians! All Australians! Not not just white Australians.
We love all of you. We're not racist at all.
That guy's not even white.
Okay,
Bruh.
We're here to say the truth about why we're protesting, and these guys are not representing what we think.
Fucking Nazi group ruined it.
Yeah,
It was good before that. That's why everyone's leaving now. No one stands for
We
that.
stand for everyone, not just a few people, you know? That's
The
racist.
extremists ruined it for everyone. That's what happens.
So anyway,
Whatever, some fag with the
gay,
nose ring.
it's all gay, and like
some
that
random brown, a chick with short hair. You can't trust these people.
No, and that whole thing was happening like at like the furthest out
Yeah, of course.
fringe of the crowd. It actually like made me go back, and I was like, all right, well, I want to actually listen to the speech that Thomas Sewell gave, and it was like really good and like not actually that racist.
No.
It was pretty much just like, we are going to be replaced in our country.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, cool. That's based. Good job. You know, like what
Also
the fuck
blood
are
and
these people
soil.
talking about? They also had a little bit of a run-in with Avi Yamini. He's the guy
really?
from
Nazis have gone up to
what
Arby.
is that? outfit?
From Rebel News.
Yeah, that's
Rebel News.
Australia.
Yeah.
Nazis have gone up to Arby. Yeah, that's
It's time to go.
they're trying to kick Arby out.
Elijah, what do you think this portends for the future of Australia?
Thomas Sowell there.
All right, hold on. I'm frozen.
Yeah. Oh, well, look, I know all these people. Avi Yemeni is a very bad faith actor
Yeah.
out there. You know, like what Avi doesn't tell you is while he's fighting for Israel, you know, they just had a vote on something called The Voice, where they sought to amend the Constitution so that there could never be a white majority in Parliament again, and that it
Whoa.
would force seats into the hands of First Nations people, also known as the Aboriginals,
Oh, great.
also known as people who did not learn how to invent the wheel in what they claim 80,000 years of existence. So this was also created by a Jewish organization, this entire parliamentary bill that was a national debate. Avi got really mad at me when I posted that 4 out of 5 of the richest Australians are Jewish, and that they only make up like 0.4% of the population, and yet control the major industries. And manipulate the government. You also are the biggest donors to the politicians as well. So it is interesting. And I remember I saw him at a rally against The Voice, which was what I was working on. And he was telling me how, you know, basically, like, we all need to support Israel if we support Australia. And I was like, dude, the literal Australia Jewish Coalition, like, agency is literally across the road over there in Sydney, fighting to destroy your country. That's the representation of Jewish voices in your country. And then it's so bad that, like, they try to get me, they try to shut down CPAC when I spoke there, the Australian Jewish Association as well. Then they went on to ABC. When I got there, I remember I was there for like 2 months speaking at CPAC, and the ABC News did an entire special on me about like the racist voices of America coming to the country. And of course, who was complaining? It was the Australian Jewish Coalition. So I just gotta understand why Jewish people think that they need to insert themselves so much into the affairs of white people. It's a very odd thing. You know, I really don't care so much about who serves in the Israeli government. You know, I'm not really involved in that. I don't, donate to their politics. But I'm wondering if we should.
Yeah,
I wonder if
really.
we start getting into Israel and just start taking over industries. I wonder how they would like that. And then just start donating and manipulating their politicians to bring the Palestinians into Israel. You know, so that would be an interesting perspective. But yeah, I mean, the country is still inherently cooked because the level of brainwashing in Australia is superseding anything you see in America, because they still watch network television and they listen to the radio still. I don't know if you know that the radio is very popular out there. So they still have the central dogmatic voice that is like anti-racist and anti-Nazi. And they have an authoritarian liberal democracy, sort of like what we see in Germany, where, the police, everything they do there is compared to Nazis. So Nazi equals bad and democracy equals all things good, but they make everybody else illegal that is there that doesn't want to support this new immigration standard. And reminding you, this is like all within the last 5 years. Like, they used COVID to start the largest mass immigration program per capita than of anywhere in the entire world. And it's so bad that now 8 of the boroughs or the suburbs of Sydney are now majority Indian. And nobody likes Indians. You know, they're
I know.
they're as dishonest as Jewish people, but they smell. And they're scammers. They have a passive aggressive attitude. They're very like you see the way Vivek Ramaswamy acts. He's a cunt. And you go down even further, and they don't assimilate. They are even scam our lotto system and our visa system. And even further than that, they come into our industries. They have a disdain for white people, by the way. They don't like white people. And if this is unfamiliar to people or it sounds, crude to people, I'm sorry, but it's the reality. I mean, these people are not, you've seen the way Vivek, who's supposed to be the most integrated, Indian, he's not even from India. He's an anchor baby. And he still takes his shoes off during indoor professional interviews.
He's just a high-level scammer, right? And he's Brahmin too. I think that it's so chaotic in India because it's inherently chaotic because of Hinduism. There's no order to the nation. The caste system is terribly unfair. They have the highest defecation rates, outdoor defecation rates. I think 65% of world outdoor defecation occurs in southern India.
Yeah. There was a chart that I saw too. Where
I saw this. Yeah,
flowing out from the Gulf of India. It's
I know, it's terrible. Feces. And if you're a girl over 12 that lives with one even related male in your house, there's a 75% chance that you've been raped. 75%. Everyone's like, oh, well, the economic potential of emerging nations. I'm like, India, this can't happen. Their culture is so dysfunctional.
I've even had like Jewish people that I know that are like, Dave, listen, I know that you're like really hard on the Jews and all that kind of stuff, right? And I get it, believe me. But listen, these Indians, they're supremacists too. And there's like a billion of them. There's only a couple 100,000 of us. Like, why don't we partner together? We get rid of the Indians and then we fight again.
That's just shifty Jew nonsense.
I'm like, I don't know. Maybe.
I can't ally with you. You guys are not. You guys are clearly the bigger problem.
But it is funny that even the Jews think that the ethnic nepotism of the Indians is like going to threaten them at some point. They're like, ew.
Well, there are a lot of them.
There's a lot of Indians. There's just billions of them. Billions.
How do
There's
we
nearly
get
a million in Australia. There's nearly 1 million.
That's incredible.
I think there's over 1 million actually now, as of 2025, and that's just India. That doesn't include Pakistani or Bangladesh, which are pretty much the exact same country. Minus the borders.
And we're seeing this happening now in the United States. Welcome to the United States, where beaches are closed because of fecal bacteria levels. I wonder who's doing this. Do you think it's the white Americans that are going out and shitting on the beaches?
No.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
I love that this Overton window shift that predates being able to talk about Jews openly was that everybody just agreed that we hated Indians. What even caught?
Here's the chart. Look at this. This is the fucking chart. You can see it's like literally all coming out from like right here in India.
Good Lord.
Where's that? Like that's like literally where the Ganges River is, and it just like goes out all over the world from there. Holy shit!
What percentage of their population has a parasite? Multiple parasites.
Reminding you that about 70% of the country, from my understanding, still isn't connected to the internet. That's what I've heard.
We need to keep that number. We're in
for a very unfortunate future. And I just want to remind people that the Indians are some of the most racist individuals, like even amongst themselves. Like they, like as white Americans or white people in general, we have a bit of pity on our underclass. If you're not, a ardent criminal, we'll typically feel some pity because of corporate greed that we know in this country, right? Corporatism. I always also hear about this too, like, Cracker Barrel, it's corporate greed and corporatism. And you're like, well, who owns Cracker Barrel? It's like, it's Larry Fink and Bernstein and et al. That's, if you look at the owners, that's who corporatism is. It's a greedy, crony mentality of money first. And that doesn't come from a Christian spirit or from our civilization. We're not like that. We're not coin clippers. So like we have a lot of words for it, right? Frankism, Bolshevism, crony capitalism, fractional reserve lending,
capitalism,
Federal Reserve, central banking. There's a lot of like words that we use and phrases to describe a Jewish system.
Transnational rootless elites.
Globalism, right? It is, and they're not the only issue, right? I mean, like, obviously, Alex is correct. There is a Chinese communist, subversion, especially internationally, with trade secrets being stolen and, potential military foeism developing the next 50 to 75 years. It could cause problems, especially for our trade routes. But like really, it's just kind of like one central issue. And you got to ask yourself, what is it that every country knew before us that they had noticed this exact same problem and then had to deal with it? And why are we unable to deal with our problems today? That's like the fundamental question. And why are so many people defensive of the people that are destroying their country? That's what I don't understand. Like it's like you're not even arguing against me that I'm incorrect when I diagnose the problem. You're just calling me a name.
Yeah.
And then you're saying I'm the bad guy for sounding the alarm and letting you know that this is what's going on. And I think it's a lot of this gay mentality that people have. It's not about, I'm not like a homosexuality gay, but it's like you meet I shouldn't say that. But anyway, I had to use a self-defense situation because some people that were supposed to be like an anti-racist biker gang asked me why I got a new car. And I was saying that black people stole my car. And then instead of being sympathetic and being like, let's go find those black people and let's get them, they were like, we don't like racists around here, and pulled a knife.
Wow.
Then I came out and grabbed a gun, and was like, cool, don't even try it, right? So
yeah, this has been like a really bad week for you, hasn't it? You didn't you like lose a car? You got attacked over Joel Webbin coming on the show by a bunch of like supposed Christians, like.
It's a good week for a show, though.
And they were calling me like a pedophile and a rapist and a women abuser and everything. It was really crazy. And
welcome to the club.
Which is, by the way, crazy because like speaking of Jews, some of those all of those accusations literally arrived from 3 different Jewish people. By the way, I'm not even joking. It's actually crazy.
No, this is the kind of stuff that happens. I mean, like when I got boycotted back in 2017, when I had my radio show and stuff like that. This is before cancel culture existed or whatever. But it was like. I'm sitting there, right? And we had our Jewish co-host who was the far left correspondent. I was the far right correspondent, right? And we would go back and forth and make fun of each other, and it was all in fair game. Well, the moment that Antifa and the Democrats were like, oh, fucking A, he was at Charlottesville, let's burn the radio station down. The 3 main people that put that protest together were all Jews. It was Oren Hellbach, Norman Male, and his daughter, Adrian Male, and Oren Hellbach was in charge of all of the local nonprofits. Adrian Male was on the United Way, and Norman Male was our co-host. And he could have just said, yeah, they don't hate Jews, and it would have all been over.
Right.
But they threw us under the bus.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And it's like, hey, wait a minute. Why the fuck are all these Jews attacking us?
Yeah, because they have tribal allegiance that we need to find. We
Didn't actually have a problem with Jews until they fucking,
The irony, they created you.
They created me. Oh, my gosh.
I had a follow-up question.
Sorry about that. I totally derailed.
I know.
My fault. I need more coffee.
Where was Elijah going with this? I've had a follow-up question. And
He was going somewhere.
I know.
Is he frozen?
With a really inquisitive look on his face.
Really?
Did we lose him?
I think we lost. Oh, shit. I think we lost Elijah.
That's actually a pretty good frame to be stuck on.
Okay. Well, maybe we're going to try to get him back on the line.
I thought he was just really holding that moment of suspense.
No, clearly
with
not.
that inquisitive face.
Okay, hold on a second. I need to take evasive action.
Evasive maneuver. Damn, what was I going to say?
Damn it. This is what happens. Start talking about you know what.
Yeah.
You know who. And they'll come in.
I don't know. I can kind of see a Jewish-Indian alliance in the future.
No way.
Why? They're so much alike.
They hate each other. Rejoin. What if I rejoin?
Indians are they're brown Jews with lower IQs.
No, that didn't work.
But they both understand, tribal elitism, tribal devotion. They're both, incredibly self-interested.
Here, let me try this. New link. All right. Let's see if this works. Sorry, everybody.
That's okay.
New link.
Elijah's,
You
it's also
froze.
tiresome face. Yes, that is it. It's the face of noticing.
All right, let's see if he comes back.
Oh, is that my mirror image? That looks really weird.
Right?
Ugh.
Doesn't look like us.
No.
I really wanted to talk about how Elijah and I first met. because that's a fun. I don't even think you know about that story.
Is it safe for the internet?
Barely. It's like really funny though. It's a really good time. This is it.
Should we read some super chats?
I guess we could.
Book Track Grooves gifted a rant.
There's no way that you can possibly read that. It's way too small.
No, I got it on my screen. David, routine, wake up, tell wife you love her, remember to read the outline, forget to read the outline, 20 squats, go outside, run, sing the Superman song with Cape, eat steak and eggs, emails. That's pretty much it.
That is exactly what I need to do every single day. I'm saving that and putting that in my calendar.
He also said, oh, it's for Elijah though.
Yeah. We also had a $100 super chat from Bill Biz. Thank you very much. It said, had to do a little Backlash catch-up. Excellent shows recently.
Thank you so much. I thought our last show was fire, and it's not getting great views.
Yeah.
Although, when we don't get great views on YouTube, I notice that our Rumble views are up. So that makes me happy. I like to see people transferring their views.
Whoops.
Do.
Yes, sent new link on X.
There he is.
You can hear it.
Ding, ding, ding.
Oh my gosh. Son of Bish. Do not redeem it. Why did you redeem it? Do not redeem it. There we go. Elijah, why did you redeem it?
We no idea what just happened there, but I just got kicked out of your it was like you've been kicked from the stream or something.
We did not do
You're
that.
a bastard, Elijah. Get out of here.
We did not
I was
do
like
that.
probably do not redeem, right? Sorry,
Do
now I
not
gotta put this
redeem.
on.
It's okay.
What were you? We were. I think we were talking about the Jews behind. We were
talking about Jews.
No, because dude, realistically speaking, so like, I'm on like a really strict NDA, so I can't say much. But like, essentially, like my troubles at the last network I was at, all came down to this group of people.
Wow.
It all came down to this group of people who ended up sort of getting their legal fees paid for them by a legal group under Kurt Schlittner. And I was actually sued for anti-Semitism. People don't know that.
Oh, really?
The lawsuit was actually about anti-Semitism. And then everyone gets confused because it was a sex-based harassment lawsuit. Sex-based harassment, meaning for gender. So it was about discriminating against women. And then everyone ran with sexual harassment, even though it wasn't about sexuality. It was about sex as in gender, but everyone's too retarded to understand the difference between sex and having sex. So I'm just going to roll with it because that was like Kurt Schlittner and them. And then there's this other guy who I won't mention because I'm working on litigation here, who wrongfully and falsely, tried to tie me to Ollie Alexander, which I've never had any like professional or private association beyond just maybe being in the same room at a public event or something like anybody else has.
Yeah.
And, so like, they've gone with the woman abuser. They've gone with the, predator stuff. They've gone with the pedophile stuff. And it's like, just, you guys got to pick an accusation.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember Milo was coming. I think Milo was coming after you and me about this goofy. I was at the Million MAGA March, right? And there was some kid that was saying bullshit to Nick, or I don't even know what it was. And then I was like, "Hey Nick, what's going on?" I had just seen him walk by, and Milo was trying to make it as though I was trying to like cover up some bullshit. Man, it's fucked up. I don't know.
Well, that's how you know they don't have anything.
I don't understand these people, but they're just professional liars. And so it's come down to the fact where it's just like, yeah, so you're saying somebody likes boys and then all of a sudden now they're gay, but they like underage boys, but then at the same time they like older women or something. It's a really confusing line of reasoning. And I use it as an IQ test. Like if people believe the stuff they read online, this is what I have to say to people. People ask me what's true and what's not. I just go believe it all, Believe what they say on the internet, because if you read it on the internet, it's true. And it's true, right? So just I don't really care at this point, it's like, it's whatever. But I do bring up the fact that in each one of these situations, there was a Jewish person behind it, which is sort of interesting, including the original attacks as well. Like the first person that wanted to get me out of the company was Mark Levin, And so it's an interesting thing. No, it is. It's just an interesting thing, right? Yeah. That it is an interesting thing where you see a lot of these attacks come from these people, and then you see our people eat it up. And I feel like there's just such a, like, I don't want to hate anyone. I don't want to dislike anyone, but you can't help but notice that, like, when all of the slander towards you comes from either directly or indirectly a small group of people, like, maybe these people are not my friends, and maybe, like, this is actually kind of crazy. It's like, even when you look at the situation where, I just got carjacked, and obviously that was black people, right? but at the same time, I'm dealing with, like, sort of insurance fraud, insurance scam from their end. Like, they're refusing to cover the car. So I was out, with the down payment I had to put on a new car. It's really a bad situation. And to pay off the other car, because it was a brand new car, I'm at over $100,000 because of dealing. And I was dealing with an Indian on the phone with the insurance company, but insurance is Jewish. And so I'm dealing with Jewish insurance, an Indian guy, and black people stealing my car, and then a Jewish police officer as well, who came up going, damn it.
Doesn't feel like we live in America anymore, does it?
Well, we just don't down here, man. It's like, dude, you've got to be kidding me, man. Like, I just knew I was fucked, like, instantly, like, and if anybody out there, like, before anyone has, like, oh, whatever, well, crying about losing this or that, look, man, that's part of the problem. Like, if a fellow white American guy is screwed over by minorities in every direction, he's out a ton of money, that would ruin most people's lives. It's caused a huge amount of financial problems for me, and people are in the chat like, oh, I'm sorry you lost your BMW. Like, as if they're not mad about people robbing our people. They're not mad at the insurance companies. It's like, I don't care if Glenn Beck's limited edition 1932 Bentley that's worth $10 million gets stolen. I'm going to be pissed as hell for him. I'm going to be mad because, yeah, can I afford that? No. Is that something I need? No. But, like, why are, like, so it's like the same thing when people get their phone stolen. Well, you shouldn't have left it on the table. Well, what if we prosecuted crime and didn't allow criminals to just do whatever they wanted and, made up for their problems? Like, why is everyone defeatist? And I just, as a white man living in this country, it's really just, like, it's really bad, man. Like, I'm out. Like, the worst part about it is, like I said, like, I've been looking into Christianity more again. And then the Christian community, after the literally next day, after getting robbed and my guns stolen, and, and again, like, I had 2 trackers in the car. Like, this was a professional op. They removed them, and they took the car to the products, used a wand, found the things. They smashed out the inside cameras.
Holy
like,
shit.
I had this car, down, and I had some important stuff in there. This is in a nice neighborhood. The next day, the Christians were mad because I made a dick joke on my show, and no one messaged me. Like, I'm not a victim of
You're,
like,
literally a victim, though.
But I'm a victim of crime. Yeah, literally of
The world,
crime.
I do think that the world decided to take a shit on Elijah last week, and I feel terrible about that. But listen.
Well, yeah, it's not good. I'm just saying, but like, I found that everyone is like, dude, where even are our people?
Yeah.
Like, if our white biker gangs pull a knife on me because I said the N-word for black people stole my car, they don't care that he stole my car. The Christians don't care that my car was stolen, that my deposit I was going to put down to buy my house for my family is now gone because I've had to pay for black crime tax. Nobody cared. And everybody's just like, you know who did care? White nationalists. You know who did care? Our people who care about our people. A lot of people from Coeur d'Alene cared, A lot of people from those areas cared. But everybody else, it's like, I don't think I'm going to find the answers in the Christian community. I'm not going to find the answers in, just people because they look like me. It's like, it's going to have to be a regional ideological thing.
Yep.
Because, like, I'm going to have to move and group together because it's like, I don't know how many more crimes I can be a victim of at behest of these people. Just reminding people, like, I don't live in an $8 million house, but the house behind mine is selling for $8.5 million. This happened in that kind of neighborhood.
Yeah.
So, like, my point is, it's a South Africanization of our country where the systems are corrupted. They work against white people, and then crime happens to you and you pay tax. And then other white people are just like, it's like they're almost like liberals. Like, well, you shouldn't have said a dick joke the next day. It's like, dude, hey, I'm literally, like, lost the ability to build generational wealth for my family because of something that happened to me yesterday, and I could have been killed, and my kids could have grown up without a dad, and you're fucking, this is what you care about? Like, people, you know what I mean? This is what Christ is?
Yeah,
I don't know.
People have their priorities, like, way out of whack. And by the way, we've got a realtor for you. We've got one. There's a lot of great property for sale up here. We can go in on a studio
Right now,
space.
it is a buyer's market.
We're working on making a nonprofit.
Yep.
So
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think that there is some serious upside potential for moving to Coeur
Coeur
d'Alene.
d'Alene's amazing. When I moved here, somebody was taking like pictures and videos of my house, and I called the cops to be like, if anything funky goes on. And they knew all about swatting because so many white nationalists live in the area, and they're like, just go to your neighbors and tell your neighbors what's going on. So I went to my neighbors. One of them I had never met, giant Mormon family. And they were like, never met me before. And they were like ready to help me bury a body. It was wild. I went to all of my neighbors and they were like, oh, we're locked and loaded over here, little miss. You're in good shape.
Oh yeah. I had my there's that account, was it Spokane Zionists on Twitter, which is run by this guy from Booz Allen Hamilton, who's been like stalking me and my family for like a year now, threatening to like sue me and shit like this. Well,
he is one diligent heeb, that guy.
It's incredible. I just want to know who's paying him, because I would feel really bad if he's spending all of this time making all of this content and like not getting paid for it. At least
Somebody must be.
Somebody has.
I've
to
invited
be
him on the show multiple times.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be fun.
He's like, you're crazy. Blah, 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 blah.
Matt, come on the show,
welcome to
buddy.
the show,
what are
yeah.
you doing? For that matter, if the Pastor Paul Van Noy wants to come on and defend murdering Gazans, we'd love to have you on, Paul. But no, it's funny. Like the Spokane Zionist account really started to like make some threats, So one of my neighbors calls me up and he's like, hey buddy, by the way, you see this account on X is threatening you? I'm like, yeah.
What is he, Irish? He's threatening you.
He's threatening you. And I was like, yeah. And I told him the story and he's like, oh, holy shit. Well, just let me know when you need us. Me and the militia will come right down. And I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah,
but that's how it is up here. It's like,
It's a great place to live, Elijah.
There's a lot of community. There's a lot of these different types of organizations. There's like, militia people. There's, alternative Christian groups, Reformed Christian groups. Like we have a big Latin Mass community up here. And so it's nice. It's actually quite nice to be able to like, I remember my dad was visiting last week and he would like leave money in the little, like the part of the car where like the shifter is.
Oh yeah, you'll never get robbed.
Just like straight up leave money in there, leave the car unlocked, windows down, go into the store to buy beer. And it's like,
Nothing's
you literally
gonna happen.
cannot do that anywhere else in America.
Yeah.
Idaho's worth fighting for. White people are welcome here.
I'm coming up to visit, man. I'm coming up to visit. I want to talk about that because, I'm a real like community-centered kind of person. Everywhere I go, you'll see that I build something and then a Jew or a woman are both ruin it. Okay? So that's be careful, Dave. Woman.
Oh, I'm also Jewish. Yeah.
Well, it's just like the reality, and so, I typically build things. I built community out in Australia. Really helped to get a lot of the NSN people, on the radar out here in the United States, and showcase a lot of Australia, get Australia back in the minds of Americans in the West to not forget about what's happening. And I really went to war with the media, and I'll just say I didn't go to war with the government because I love the government so much, and I want to suck their dicks. Let me in. Anyways, I'm working on it. I think I'm going to be. I think I found a way around this through a diplomatic way. I have some friends in the government there, so that's a whole side note. But on a fresh note, I think I want to understand better and more openly how to actually live out what I think. And the problem has been is I'm a city boy, and I do enjoy the comforts of living in a metropolitan area. I'm a member of the local cigar club. I go to car clubs in the area.
Oh, we got
and I hang out
We
with
got
people.
all of that.
Yeah.
Do you guys have that stuff?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
what I was
yeah.
wondering.
Yeah.
Oh
totally.
yeah. Not only that, but I mean, it's like we still have. Like, do you remember like in the 1990s when like, the old men would get together at the coffee shop and like Rush Limbaugh would be coming out on the speakers and everybody would be kind of sitting around talking about what they're seeing happening and all that. Like we still have those types of groups.
There's a lot of money here, and
here.
all of us moved from metropolitan areas. I felt the same way. I got dragged out of cities kicking and screaming. I did not want to leave. I mean, I lived in New York and then LA and then Seattle.
Yeah.
And I was like, outside of the minority problem, you do have a lot of access to creature comforts. And I liked the buzz of city life. And so I did not want to I did not want to move
But up
here.
here, it's a good mix, right? Because like, you know, you're 45 minutes from Spokane, which really you have absolutely no reason ever to go to.
Don't go to Spokane.
Other than reminding yourself of why you live where you live.
Yeah.
Right? Because I remember I took
Why?
my dad.
What's the juxtaposition there?
Oh,
Spokane's
Spokane
a
is
shithole. Oh,
Everybody's on drugs. They're all on fent. They're nodding out under the bridges. There's people just like laid out on like the sidewalk.
Huge homeless problem.
The roads suck. Everything
decrepit
is
city.
a fight over who can be more woke. There's trans flags all over the place. I mean, I think in 20 years, Spokane will be like a nice spot. There's a couple of buildings over there I got my eyes on. And they're nice buildings.
Don't pull the trigger yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Just hold on, buddy.
But, and then you come to Coeur d'Alene and it's like, there's no homeless people. There's like 3 black people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and increasingly, like the main problem that we are dealing with in the state is this kind of like southern border mass migration of like what do they call it? Latinx? Latinx?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Latinx, I like that.
We got some problems with the Latinx coming in, especially in southern Idaho. But up here in the north, it's like, you know, you'll drive around and see Confederate flags. You'll see libertarian flags.
Yeah. I will
you'll
go
see the
weeks
appeal
and
to
weeks
heaven.
of being in the city, going out all the time. I'll go weeks without seeing a black person.
True. So
Elijah's like,
he's
what?
like, take my money.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like it throws everything off because people don't understand. Not only about money, but I was at the police station and the dealership for like 3 days last week together, and unable to really run my businesses, and I miss opportunities, and like it's don't get to spend time with my children, and there's so much consequence to the black tax, but I didn't realize. I asked Google AI. Let me see if I can actually read it directly. I asked Google AI because I was like, who brought desegregation and forced integration into our communities? Because this stuff is just not conducive towards living a better life. And it would have to be somebody who hated us. Google AI had a response to this that I want to bring up for you here that I thought was really interesting. So I said, what group was most involved in forcing integration and desegregation of blacks into white neighborhoods? And it said, this is a direct quote from Google AI, said Jews were the most significantly involved in the desegregation and civil rights movements, providing crucial financial, legal, and grassroots support. This was driven by a combination of factors, including empathy from their own experience with anti-Semitism and a shared sense of justice. Its involvement often varied between northern and southern Jewish communities. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting. I didn't even ask it about Jewish people at all. So I just like came up with that, and I'm just like, how? I mean, I never really thought about that aspect. I'm like well, what a shit show integration has been. It's been such a failure. Now we have locked up deodorant. Because we have to live together.
That's why that famous Barbara Specter clip was so instrumental in red pilling people. Jews are going to be at the forefront of bringing a multiculturalism to Europe.
And let's not forget how integration happened. I found out about
literally
this
at
like
gunpoint,
2 years ago, and I'm like I'm supposedly like the racist guru or whatever. I just found out that this happened at like gunpoint a couple years ago, and it's fucking unbelievable. I completely now understand why shit was so crazy in the 1960s and 70s, because it's like nobody wanted it. The black people didn't want it. The white people didn't want it. Nobody wanted it except for like one small tiny group of people who had their own schools, and they had their own busing, they had their own police and their own EMS, and they could be insulated.
They still do it in LA. They do forced busing in LA.
Really?
They take the poor Hispanic kids and they bus them into white areas and like into Beverly Hills and stuff. And
that's what they did at my high school in St. Louis.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bus them for like an hour and a half away into the rich white areas. And
it made my school chaotic.
Yeah. Well, so was mine. And then like my first day of public school, I was homeschooled. And then I went to public school for my first time in 11th grade. And a kid stabbed another kid in the back of the neck on the first day of school. It was like two Latin gangs, and it's just like, I mean, I'm from LA, right? Born and raised, but my first experience of public school was stabbing. And, we had lockdowns several times a year from like gun threats and bomb threats. And it's just like, I don't want my kids to be raised in this multicultural, it's such a shithole. And I'm tired of this. Like, with everything else in the world, I can say my thing is better or admit when someone else's thing is better, right? Like my car is better than a lot of people's, and there's a lot of people who have better cars than me. That's pretty, like, guys are not dumb. We know that, right? You go to a car show and you're like, oh, that's a better car than mine. You know, that's just better. It's more expensive. It has more done with it. It can go faster. And what metrics do we measure it? Well, it's acceleration, it's top speed, you know, it's engine power, it's you know, the upgrades, exhaust system, the cats, the, you know, maybe how vintage it is or whatever it is, rare the car build is. And then it's like, so that's just a car, and cars are just things. But you know, things are designed by someone, and when things are designed, they're designed with a purpose. And humans were designed by God, and we have a purpose. And what is our purpose? To all live together and enable the shittiest among us to enjoy the technology that we have without understanding the society it takes to maintain that. You know, like, do we have the internet, but then let people in that want, you know, pornography to be legal? Like, pornography sucks. You know, I've looked at a lot of it in my life before. Like, you know, like I'm not like some you know, I'm not like some Catholic, like, you know, example of a Christian or something like that. So meaning, like, I've fallen prey to a lot of degeneracy in my life, you know, throughout the years. But I ask myself, it's like, yeah, because I'm in like a liberal free society, but then with like Jewish morality. So those things don't mix. Like, you can't both have like an open society with kids on the loose doing what they want and free access to pornography out there in society, because then those things lead to degeneracy. And I feel like, as a victim of like Jewish culture, you know, being from LA, I want nothing but the opposite for my children.
Oh,
know? So
absolutely.
I don't want them to have that. So that's why I have to move, because these areas are they have a lot of creature comforts, but the question is, can we morally survive, or even ethically or spiritually survive, when we're treated like second-rate citizens in the country that we built, with surrounded by people who can't even maintain what we have, and yet we are taxed and beaten up because of it. I mean, the amount of our tax dollars that go towards other schools, even in the city and stuff, that are inner city schools and programs, and it's just like, yeah, again, like, I don't live in a black area, but they came from south, from Miami, so they drove up here, jacked my car, and went down. It's just like
unbelievable.
Living in a high trust society is just absolutely essential. And that is one of the reasons that I moved here. Like, the first time we came here, we were like, okay, this is a place that we can have kids.
There is nowhere else that I would rather be.
My husband, a white guy, by the way, but he grew up in Japan.
Yeah.
And he was telling me the story. One day when he was living in Tokyo, he just walked home from preschool. He was 4. And everybody was freaking out, looking for him or whatever. He just had his gay little uniform on and his little hat, and he just like walked half a mile back to his house. And then everybody came in. People were just like helping him cross the street. And I was thinking, if that happened in America, let's say you live in Seattle or whatever, like the thought of a 4-year-old walking half a mile.
No way.
And it just happened. It was uneventful. And all these people came in looking for him, and he was just looking at them like, what?
Yeah, no.
Like that.
And I was going to say, how old are your kids, Elijah? You had, I think, you have 2 kids?
Yeah. I have a 10-month-old and a 2-year-old. So,
okay.
Awesome.
So you see, this is the perfect time to move, because like, I've got, my eldest is what, 4 years and 7 months? Math?
I don't know.
I don't know why I'm looking at you.
Why are you? I'm
know.
not your wife.
You wouldn't know. But she's about to start school next week. Next Monday is her first day of school.
Yeah.
And dude, the schools up here are so fucking incredible.
Yeah,
like,
they are based. You do not have to homeschool your kids. Yeah.
If your kid is caught having a social media account,
Expelled.
immediate expulsion, no do-overs. That's it. Nobody in the school is allowed to have smartphones. You're not allowed to bring phones to the school. You'll be expelled. If you're caught on social media, expelled. You know what I mean? Like, it's awesome.
And I have a lot of friends.
I'm looking forward to this.
Oh yeah, I'm 37, so I have some friends that are in their 40s that have teenage kids that have gone through the school system here. None of them are on drugs, have tattoos. None of them are fat. None of them are sexually active.
Yeah.
Like, across the board, they are just good,
Based.
clean cut kids. And those are people that have lived here their entire lives. I mean, it's just a great place to live.
Now, I do think, Elijah, we were talking earlier, you may have to go kind of quick. I don't know if we're running up against the...
Wait, I do.
Yeah, we have 5 minutes is good.
Okay,
we're just on a tight schedule today.
Well,
but I want to make sure I give you a full hour.
I wanted to talk
I
about...
haven't asked any of the questions I wanted to.
Well, I didn't even
fine.
write any questions.
Yeah,
I was just going to say, Elijah, do you remember the first time we met? Like, can we tell this story? Because, like, I think this is the funniest
He doesn't remember.
See, he doesn't remember.
I drank a lot over COVID, so I don't remember a lot of it.
It's okay.
Honestly.
So we were at
He's sweating over there.
I know, he's like, oh shit.
No, I'm like,
So-
I don't know if this is a bad story. I don't.
No,
I
it's a
don't
great
know,
story.
maybe.
No, so we were
Go ahead.
it was at CPAC 2020, the same year as AFPAC 1. And so I was down there at CPAC with like Baked Alaska and a couple of other people that have
Baked
since
Alaska.
like fallen off pretty heavily, which kind of sucks. But I was there with Vince. And I remember being at the Gaylord Hotel and we met up. This was before you had kids. And I like shamed him. I was like, you got to have kids like right fucking now. And then like a couple of months later, he like, I was like, oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
But later that night, we were at the bar Harry's. And
Oh yeah, I love
his-
Harry's. That's a great place.
he
It's
had,
shut down now.
He had this bodyguard from, I think he was in TPUSA at one point, real scrappy dude. But like the Alex Jones guys, like the Alex Jones security guards went crazy and went after Elijah and wound up getting his bodyguard. And they like beat the shit out of each other. And then like 30
Why?
minutes later, Mindy Robinson was like pulling out this chick's hair in like, it was like a full on brawl. It was just crazy. And that was
Fellas.
like,
Yeah.
And then-
My security got knocked out by Alex Jones security because he like because I finished drinking a beer and I put it down on Alex's table because Alex and I are friends, and then the security like grabbed the empty beer can and tried to shove it into my suit pocket. It made no sense. And so then my like security grabbed him by the wrist and he just like just knocked him out, like broke his skull open.
He looked awful.
And he was like bleeding on the floor and they were like trying to like curb stomp him. And it was a cheap shot, man. I don't think like it was, and then Alex apologized to me and then Alex let me punch him on air. And I didn't want to do it hard though, so I just kind of did a little bitch, like a little bitch punch, because not trying to actually like hurt anyone there. And also I'm more afraid of getting hurt myself with how thick Alex
Yeah,
is.
he's like a dense man.
holy crap,
Yeah.
the man's a tank.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He's
that
got
was
black man's bones. He's extra dense.
oh my gosh. But no, I just thought it was really funny because it was like that period of time was just like a wild time. It's like, like you're at a bar, like Elijah Schaffer and Alex Jones are over there. Then their security start fighting. Then you got like Ethan Ralph over here. Oh, you know what I mean? Screaming about it. Nick is in the corner with like Michelle Malkin scheming.
I didn't get to experience any of this fun internet
it was
culture.
a lot of fun. It was interesting.
I've been flying under the radar for too long.
That was a lot. Those were good times, and also, yeah, those were like really good. Those were like really, really, really good times, and women ruined it. So they literally tried to destroy my life, and in the meantime, pitted everyone against each other.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say this in the end: Ethan Ralph won. So I'm just kidding. No, I just remember that was always in the chat. Ralph won. But
oh my gosh.
no, but I was just gonna say, yeah. So it was like, which is why we don't have any women working in the office anymore.
So
smart.
And if you do work with me, you work remote, because and then you're also not in the official chat. So we have our official chat for the business, and there's no women allowed in it. It's
No,
just-
I understand. I mean, the cat fighting that happens online is
it
just
was
incredible.
also it was a Jewish woman that got Tucker Carlson hemmed up over at Fox.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
they
it
called
was.
her a Grinch, and she said that was anti-Semitic,
well,
anti-semantic.
truth is the truth. One more question, Elijah, if you've got time.
yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So after working at the Blaze, you've been doing your own thing. You have really dodged some punches. I have seen men bigger than you taken down by the lawfare that has been enacted against you. It's been kind of incredible to watch. I'm like, is this going to be the thing that takes out Elijah Schaffer? Yet, you always stand back up and dust yourself off and do something bigger. How do you keep going? How do you not get burned out? How do you not become absolutely bankrupt? I mean, I just don't understand how are you still here? That's my question for you.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm in like a
Nootropics.
like a 2,000 square foot studio with like 4 or 5 employees here, and a lot. We had team meetings. There's
4
about
or
a dozen of
5
us now working
employees.
together, and
Damn.
it doesn't make any sense. What I do want to say is this. This is going to sound really corny, and I'm not tooting my own horn, and it's actually a God thing. The main reason why I've been really interested is because I actually don't have an answer for that, except for God's favor has been on my life. And you see this in the Bible, that men who God called, that he chose, to do something were never deserving of it, and they're typically pretty messed up men. And I am like, you know, I'm not rude to people in the way of like, you know, I'm not malicious. I have no bad business deals. So behind the scenes, like I've never like screwed anyone over or anything. You know, I'm a sinner. You know, I've struggled with vices over the years, and you know, I've made mistakes. But what I've noticed is, if you actually treat people well behind the scenes, and you never take the credit for your successes, then you can lean on God when there's failures, whether you cause them or you don't. And that's not even to be like corny. It's just true. And I realize there's two statements I'll leave you with. It's like, you only lose when you give up. Okay. So people can beat you down and you can beat yourself down. Like, you can make mistakes and blow it yourself too. Right. I love Christians always like, it's somebody else. No, sometimes you just screw up your own life, you know?
Yeah, totally.
But you only lose when you give up. And I also realize that like one of the great things about trials are that, you know, they're basically the only thing promised to you other than taxes and death.
Yeah.
And there's really not much you can do about taxes except pay them. And with death, you have to confront it. But the only thing you really have a choice with is how you confront trials. And so it's really a great moment of testing for your spirit of just like, you know, like this is kind of the thing is like the reason why I'm able to get back up is because people believe I'm a horrible person. Like the things I'm shocked. Sometimes I hear new things about me. And I'm like, I've had like I even was like laughing. Milo texted me something and it was like, man, at this point I'm just waiting for someone to say I was on, you know, Epstein's Island or I was at a Diddy party. Like someone needs to come out and say that, because it's basically the only accusations that are missing at this point, or hits that I haven't gotten. I might just start it myself and spread it. That's why I tell everyone my wife's a Jew, you know, because I had to start that one myself, you know. Like that one's just for the Wignats, you know, because they get all mad. I just like, oh, my wife's Jewish, and then they're like low IQ, so they are, man. So he doesn't believe it.
No, people always say that in the live chat. You know, his wife is Jewish.
Incredibly based.
I don't know. Isn't that funny? Like it's like pissing off your own people because you're kind of just IQ filtering the people. So long story short, it's like, you know, you got to lean on the Lord and you got to trust in him. And then I was gonna say, I just realized is that like, you know, it's just like when you stop doing things because people will think well of you, like that's what I've realized. Like there's no way I can fix my reputation. Like people just think I'm a bad person because they don't like what I say. And they disagree with, and they want me to be destroyed, and I'm not destroyed, so they have to do something with me. So then they just write me off as like a horrible person because of something someone said on the internet with no evidence, right? I mean, I've gone to court of some of these accusations, and I've won, right? Every single one. So it's not even that. It's just like they just want to believe that I'm this because they don't want to confront my arguments and my ideas. And I've been kicked out of every club. You know, the Wignats don't like me. I'm not quite, you know, I'm not on like cozy TV with the Groypers. I'm definitely not part of, like, Conning doesn't accept me. I kind of have to do my own thing. So I'm just kind of like in my own island, and I'm kind of creating my own island of misfit toys. And one thing that we're trying to do here at Rift TV, you should follow us on YouTube, is we're trying to remain the mainstream, but we're trying to employ and help people who have been disenfranchised by Con Inc. but have Con Inc. skills. So like, you know, it's like Sarah Stock was fired by Ezra Levant, you know, at Rebel before she was even big on the internet, you know, for a Christian comment she made about Jesus, you know, on Christmas or whatever, you know,
Ezra
and I've
Levant.
heard that from a friend, you know, and she was a small little girl on the internet, had like no followers, you know, had like 30 followers on Instagram or whatever. And I was just like, called her, just like, hey, I feel really bad about what happened. I'm starting this new network. Would you like to be like the first forward-facing employee of the company? Because the whole point of this company is to hire people who have been disenfranchised by Con Inc. and don't have a place to go. And we want to use, you know, our skill sets. And then boom, now she's like, you know, she's more relevant than I am. So, you know, sometimes all you got to do is, I'm not taking the credit for her growth. It's just sometimes you got to give people the freedom to be themselves.
Totally.
Yeah.
And and so, you know, it's like, am I there to help her and people like her that work here? Yeah, of course I give them tips, tell them maybe if they sound retarded on the internet that they're sounding retarded, or like, you know, encourage them not to catfight or whatever I'll do, you know, with anyone. Because I have rules. Like I don't argue with gays or women on the internet. It's just it's not worth it.
True.
But you know, she's really grown and really molded into something pretty unique and forward facing. And I think that's what Con Inc. used to be. You know, they used to give young people jobs and opportunities, and we did a good job with them. And then they joined the left in the great culling in like 2018, you know, and they just completely went the Daily Wire route and took all the people who were pro-America, pro-white, pro-Christian, and just sort of Judified everything.
Yep.
Absolutely.
And Rift TV is here to be what Conning should have been, and hopefully will continue to grow. All things could fail if God deems them to do so. We have an amazing team. We got Joel Webbin on board. We just got a guy in the White House. We got our first White House correspondent with clearance. So we're starting our White House show. We have my show. We got Sarah's show. Kevin Sorbo's son, Braden, just signed on.
Nice.
We got Keith Woods. We got Kai
Schwimmer.
Schwemmer, and Anna Perez. It's just a good group of people signing on and growing.
Sorry.
And
the Anna Perez thing is from Twitter Spaces. There's like we would always do these like Twitter Spaces with Nuance Bro, and there's this like moo sound effect, and it sounds like Anna, but it's weird.
You got to hustle. Elijah's got a boogie.
I know. Hold on, we got one question though from Super Chats. We got to ask him. From Book Track Grooves sent $10. Elijah, are these protests building families? Have you spoken to Vivek Ramaswamy to drop out of Ohio governor run? What is your thoughts on the midterms?
where is that, a super chat?
That was a super chat, yes. Or a Rumble
Can you
rant.
repeat that real fast?
Are the protests building families? I'm assuming that has to do with the Australia protests. Have you spoken to Vivek Ramaswamy to drop out of the Ohio governor run? What is your thoughts on the midterms? So 3 questions.
Okay. First question, I don't understand what that means, but Australians are not getting married. That's a real problem. They are not getting married. They have partners, they're not getting married. 2, Vivek, I tried to get into Vivek's face and his security assaulted me. That's on camera, threw me to the ground. Yes, but instead I just roast him on the internet. And if you saw, he started to respond to my posts now because he's seething from them.
Yeah.
He's seething from them because I'm ratioing him. And it's one of my goals after his security illegally assaulted me that I've decided that I will, continually remind him that he's never going to be an American, and he can put on as many cowboy hats as he wants, but he's just always going to be a stinky cow poop loving Jeet. So thank you very much. That's
I guess
true.
I am not getting hired by Vivek anytime soon. No, I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Yeah, and are we really? We're not at midterms yet.
We're not at the midterms yet, but they're coming up.
Who cares?
Next
They're
year.
always up technically. I mean, technically the election's coming up like every couple of years, but I mean, like
It's every 2 years.
I will wait to see where the Republican Party goes under Trump before I would comment on that, because number one, is Trump in a health situation? I don't know.
Yeah, nobody's seen him for like 6 days.
It's been 6 days.
That's what I
Correct.
hear.
And number 2, he's admitted that his base is not happy with Israel. So we'll see if the Republican Party is willing to part ways with some of the lobbying from them and maybe, work with some of the populist movement. And if they're not, then I will just say this: I don't really care about the midterms.
Amen.
Neither do I.
Just it. Honestly, I don't care about I don't care about elections anymore. If we don't get rid of this Israeli problem, I don't really care about elections.
You are
like
singing
pretty
my
much anymore at all.
tune. Elijah, where can people find you?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube and on Rumble. It's the Rift TV. You can find it there. You can also find me on X at Elijah Schaffer, or you can read our articles, which are written by our amazing writers every day at rifttv.com. Appreciate you guys. And to those, the Backlash podcast, make sure you subscribe, donate to this podcast, send your support, send your questions. And, we're big supporters of you guys here at Rift. Dave, you're always welcome to come on. Rebecca, you're always welcome to come on. Maybe we'll do something when I'm out there in person.
Yeah, that'd be
both
great.
Networks, that would be easier because I know you guys do remotes. This is not a dig on you, but I'm like, this is like a stupid statement. It's like I'm a professional, so like I can just do remote and do whatever. But a lot of people are really awkward on remote. They're just so like weird and like sterile and just bizarre. I don't know what it is. So if we could do something in person up there, I think that would be,
That'd be
a lot of fun.
awesome.
That would be a lot of fun.
We would love that. Thank you so much for coming on, Elijah. We appreciate it.
Keep up the good work, sir.
You know what is so funny?
What?
He knew that having a Jewish wife would absolutely destroy his reputation. I want to take this moment to point out that having a Jewish wife, it does not. There is no way you could be part of the dissident right after that.
I wonder if anyone else out there might have a Jewish wife on the dissident right.
Because people in the live chat, his wife is Jewish. His wife is Jewish.
No, actually, that's not true. It's Matt Christensen's
His wife is Jewish. Yeah.
All right, we've got a lot of other super chats that we can get to. But first, I also want to let...
Precludes, that was the word I was missing.
Precludes.
It precludes you from being a member of the
I wanted to let
district.
everybody know that we are officially doing the experiment, okay?
We're doing it.
We're doing it.
Please buy our merch.
We have merch up. We now have a mug club. You can buy a mug. You can buy a hoodie. You can buy a t-shirt. We've got more designs that will be coming out shortly.
Incoming.
But this is just a test, right? So like I did a lot of legwork on this thing, trying to figure out if there was a way that we could source this stuff either locally or make it ourselves. And the company that was selling their screen print machine decided not to sell it as I was like on the way over to like buy it, which kind of sucked. But also, yeah. So anyway, looking to eventually start that and like actually screen print this shit ourselves. But
we got to get the merch up and running, see how well it does.
We need to know what kind of volume is out there. So please go buy some mugs, go buy some hoodies or t-shirts or something like that. And if you like it, then we'll make more of it and we'll put it up there. And
if you don't like it, you can go fuck yourself.
Too bad. Also, another way that you can help support the show is by supporting yourself with Atlas Bullion, our friends that are the best gold and silver dealers on the internet. You can go to atlasbullion.com/backlash and get signed up for a weekly or monthly or bi-monthly gold or silver subscription or a gold and silver subscription with plans as low as $55 a month for the silver, $200 a month for gold. Very good stuff. I will say, you know, for people that are out there that are trying to start stacking gold and silver, be aware, especially with gold, that the smaller pieces that you buy have a higher premium. So if you were to
buy in bulk,
if you were to buy an ounce of gold, right, it might cost you like, so if it's $3,500 for an ounce, it might cost you $3,550 to buy a 1 ounce round. If you buy an ounce of like 1 gram pieces, you might wind up spending like $4,500, like an extra $1,000 to get that divisibility, right? So just be aware of that. And yeah, buy in bulk. Buy like, you know, my goal is to put away another ounce of gold every year. That's kind of like my thinking is like, if I can just keep that up and put away an ounce of gold every year, then in like 30 years,
we'll be okay.
Maybe. We'll see. But anyway, that's atlasbullion.com/backlash. We've got some more sponsors that we're going to talk about. But first, some more super chats. Book Track Roof sent $10. Have spoken to Steven Crowder about the ban in Australia. Is there any effort to take back Oregon?
Oh, that was an Elijah question. I'm sorry, Book Track.
My bad. Well, effort to take back Oregon? What do you mean, like Portland? Because Portland is the part that sucks. Everywhere else in Oregon is pretty much okay. Like especially Eastern Oregon, Southeastern Oregon, like these areas are pretty based.
Eugene and Ashland are filled with a bunch of retards.
Eugene is Antifa Central. It sucks. That whole valley from Portland down Corvallis, Salem, Eugene. Yeah, it sucks. I don't know, man. They just need to like overdose themselves and that'll fix the problem.
I even care about white... I'm not going to say that. I was going to say white leftist drug addicts. That's a lie. I don't give a shit about them.
I don't really give a shit about them. Okay, we asked that question. Thank you again for the big super chat. Bill Biz did that. Thunderstorm sent $9.99 on YouTube. Thank you very much. Is it going to pop up?
Thanks, buddy.
Anyway, when you realize all the companies in the Soviet Union were managed and built by Western companies in Wall Street and Karl Marx advised Lincoln and Davis during the Civil War, it makes me wonder. Yeah, fair. Yeah, we talked about that weird manufacturing plant that Ford built over in Russia a couple days ago. It was wild. Barefoot in the Kitchen sent $5. When you visit Coeur d'Alene, I'll make a big steak dinner. I'm sorry you had a bad week. That's for Elijah.
That's for Elijah too.
And I know who sent that.
That's so sweet.
Barefoot in the Kitchen. Anyway. Jimmy C sent $10. God, I can't wait to move somewhere where I don't see blacks.
It's awesome.
Dude, we really need to get like a real estate agent to like advertise on the show.
Oh yeah.
And we can just make the most racist ads.
Any real estate agents in Coeur d'Alene that want to destroy their reputations.
So fun.
Yeah.
We would sell so many houses.
And then every time I see a black person, they're like, they're on their lawn or whatever, and they're mowing their lawn, and they'll look and they'll be like,
I will say that like the kind of black person that wants to live in North Idaho,
no riffraff,
is a very different kind of black.
Yeah.
Like they wear cowboy hats, and cowboy boots, and they go to the cigar lounge and they bitch about black people.
Yeah.
And it's like, what?
Well, that would be rough,
on?
like that'd be a rough situation.
Yeah, I know one. I know one black guy. He's like pastor of a church. Up here, and he's just based. He's amazing.
Well, if I were black, that's what I would have to do.
Yeah. Anyway. No Indians. Need to get rid of the Indians. Yo, Jimbo Rockford sent $10. Will we ever unite in our shared belief in the divinity of Christ, or are we doomed to be forever fighting and arguing over ritual and dogma?
Yeah, I hope that we can get to a place where we're united in that, but I am less concerned than I am with racial unity. You guys know where we stand on this on the show.
Yep.
I saw the funniest comment about you the other day. I laughed my ass off. It said,
Ben.
Yeah, I laughed about that. Somebody said, I love your show, Rebecca, Cameron, and Ben. And so I responded like, Ben loves you too. Ben loves you the most.
I'm just like, hello.
Ben.
Name's Dave.
The comment was, it was a few episodes ago. Like, in this episode, Dave's Bitcoin evangelism eclipsed his Catholic evangelism. And I was laughing about that. I was like, yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of comments of people warming up to me.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah. Like, Dave's getting better.
It's good, but I think there's so much potential, especially up here in Coeur d'Alene, in the Pacific Northwest region in general, and I think that, I don't want to say too much on the air, but I had a couple of phone calls over the weekend.
With your black friend?
No, you know what I'm talking about, this new idea.
Yeah.
There really is nowhere in this country, the world maybe, actually, there isn't like one institute that exists to like further nationalist thought, causes, community. There's like nothing out there for this. And it seems very obvious that there should be.
Yeah.
So we're going to get some work on that. And,
the benefit of being backed into a corner where you have no institutional support is you really have to think big.
Make your own institutions.
And make your own institutions, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the backlash is a tiny bit of what you see behind what we're trying to get launched that is just so much larger. And will some of these things fail? Yes. We will have some failures.
They will fail spectacularly. And
Probably
hopefully
not.
people can learn from it. But anyway, get your last minute super chats in if you have any. We have one from K-Max McDonald over on Entropy. And unfortunately, this is for Elijah. What about a move to North Idaho? Is the weather too cold, or do you feel the culture there would be the best fit for you? Well, we kind of talked about that anyway.
People don't like the weather, but we're European. We can handle a lot of cold weather, a lot of gray.
With the cold, there comes a lot of good trade-offs, like less black people.
Fewer black people.
Fewer. True. The Somalians, though, they're over in like...
They're
Minnesota.
in Minneapolis. I'm like, how are you guys surviving?
I don't understand that. But anyway, we don't have any of that here.
If I moved to Somalia, I would get off the plane. I would just fall over dead. Like I couldn't, there's no way.
You couldn't pay me to go to Somalia.
Oh, no.
Gaza Derangement Syndrome sent $5. Was Tim actually sick, or did he go on a vacation to Israel?
Who?
Tim Poole?
Oh.
Was Tim sick?
I don't know. I don't follow him.
I don't follow that show, so I don't know. Paulie B sent $5. Dave, the stuff about industry in the USSR stems from Anthony Sutton's The Wall Street Trilogy. Just find those on Amazon, all the receipts. Geopolitics is totally fake and totally gay. This is really weird. Maybe we should do an episode about this kind of like international capitalist stuff, going back over, what happened. Because apparently the audience wants to talk about that.
Okay.
So that sounds interesting. We've got to give another big shout out to our sponsor, Idaho Tallow Company. If you are tired of skincare packed with chemicals that you can't pronounce, North Idaho Tallow Company might be for you. Their soaps, balms, and lip balms are great. And they keep it simple with grass-fed tallow, time-tested ingredients, zero junk. Our soaps, balms, and lip balm are packed with bioavailable nutrients your skin actually needs. No fillers, no endocrine disruptors, just rugged, reliable skincare that works. Ditch the synthetic garbage and switch to North Idaho Tallow Company. And I've been advised to try and encourage as many people as humanly possible to sign up for the Soap of the Month Club.
This fall soap that they're launching smells so good.
Yeah, did you get a sample of it?
I did.
It's awesome. It's like
She put pumpkin in it.
pumpkin and cinnamon, but it's also citrusy.
Yeah.
It's very nice. So go to idahotallow.com, get signed up, and also follow them on Twitter. Let me see if I can pull up Idaho Tallow. They've been doing some video stuff. Yeah, like here. Here, we've got a little video.
At North Idaho Tallow, I keep it simple. Grass-fed beef tallow and the highest.
Is this
quality
like Legend
natural
of Zelda
ingredients.
music or something?
I
That's
like
it.
it.
Percent.
Oh, I smelled that one today,
essential
too.
oils, measured down to the fractional gram for safety. No synthetic fragrance oils, ever. And when it comes to color, forget artificial micas. I use herbs, clays, turmeric,
Herbs.
and charcoal. Ingredients your skin actually understands. The
AI
result?
voices are always like a
bar that's
little
100%
wonky.
natural, safe, and nourishing. Soap that actually loves your skin back. That's North Idaho Tallow. Soap the way it should be. Order today at Idaho Tallow.
We're gonna have to talk with their marketing team a little bit about the music. I don't know about that.
I like it. It gives me like a 90s infomercial kind of ASMR thing.
That's good. We also have to thank our sponsors, Antelope Hill Publishing, fighting to keep history alive against the regime of anti-white censorship and to publish a new generation of dissident, radical, right-wing researchers, philosophers, polemicists, and writers. Excuse me. They have an eclectic catalog that includes veteran right-wing authors and academics like Kerry Bolton, Dr. Ricardo Duchesne, and Paul Kersey, as well as newer figures like Lord Miles Routledge of Afghanistan, Josh Neal, and Christian Secor, in addition to a long list of original translations or modern reprints of otherwise inaccessible historical works from eras such as Fascist Italy, National Socialist Germany, and even medieval Europe. Their original works include groundbreaking investigations into the causes and funding behind transgenderism and the opioid crisis, books on Christian nationalism and American folktales. Additionally, Antelope Hill also contributes to the regeneration of our culture and rebirth of our family values through their top quality fiction, including books like Let Them Look West and Worlds Separated, and a collection of beautifully illustrated and wholesome children's books. Whatever your interest is, you're bound to find books that you like at Antelope Hill, all professionally published with cover art that will grace your bookshelves. Help us and help our people by checking out companies that share our values and work to preserve the birthright of our history. Visit antelopehillpublishing.com.
.com. You put your radio voice on for that.
.com.
.com.
In a world filled with anti-white hate, Antelope Hill stands against them all. You know? I'm still shaking this cold thing, too. It's always like, whenever it's on the radio, it's like you get a cold and it's like, oh, shit, I got to go cut some commercials. And it's
Yeah.
like, you've never needed a Chrysler Dodge Jeep ever like you need it now. Bulletproof glass. You can run over so many Antifa with this sucker.
Oh, now we're never going to get monetized. They have been reviewing my channel for like 2 months now.
Yeah, I know.
It's
I don't
okay.
think it's going to.
It's
We're
not
going to
gonna
have to just focus on the YouTube, the Backlash YouTube, which you need to all go and subscribe to. Real Backlash.
Please do so
On
that we can
YouTube.
transfer all of our stuff over there because it's not safe on my channel.
Yeah.
It's just not
Ooh,
safe.
we also have this new trailer. Should we play the trailer?
No, but just go and watch the trailer, guys.
Go watch the trailer.
It's 2 minutes that I don't want to spend with you or the audience because I hate all of you.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know.
Please follow
I'm
us.
hormonal.
Also. You're
Elijah
hormonal,
hurt
too.
my feelings about all of his whammon comments. I'm just joking. I
Boo-hoo,
don't
nigga.
really care.
Backlash podcast on Rumble.
Why do we still have that? Look at that. It's
What with Vince?
like a million years ago. I
by
don't even
the way-
have that laptop cover anymore. It's like episode
By the way,
3.
I got a text message from Vince while we were on the show. I'm going to read it to everybody, just to let everybody know that Vince is safe, okay? But it says, I got paired up in golf with a retired CIA agent.
Uh-oh.
It was an older woman. She was so mad that the Trump administration was, quote, firing all her friends. She was complaining about the loyalty oath, LOL. I kept quiet.
Did you ask him if you can read this?
No. And
Oh
then,
my God.
And then he's like, she's like 65. Oh, and she was so mad that her millennial nephews believed in conspiracy theories about 9/11. So Vince is doing great. He's playing golf with CIA agents. He is literally fucking retired. I don't know what to tell you. Everyone's like, where's Vince? What's he doing? He's doing something, isn't he? I'm like, nah.
No,
he's like playing
Let
golf.
him play golf.
Let him have a life, for God's sake.
Yeah, I mean, we've been doing this for 10 years. So I can understand why people are like, I'm tired. I don't want to do this anymore. Okay, you can find us on X at Real Backlash. Check out all of our links at thebacklash.net. We have an awesome show teed up for you guys on Wednesday, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time until Cameron gets back from Europe.
Don't forget to buy merch. Buy some
merch.
mugs. Buy
Give us
some
money.
mugs.
If you are independently wealthy and you want to throw some money at this podcast, I promise you will see it come up with.
But just if you have money and you want to throw it at the podcast, send us an email. info@thebacklash.net. You can also send us packages to P.O. Box 853, Post Falls, Idaho, 83877.
We will get a pipe bomb one of these days.
But if you want to like actually give like a substantial amount of money, we are making inroads to have a tax deductible way to do that.
Yeah.
So stay tuned. Big shit coming down the pike.
Oh, why would you say it like that?
Why would I say it like that?
Disgusting. See you guys on Wednesday.
I have to press the button. Bye.